The Russia-Ukraine war has turned out to be an incredibly expensive one for the USA. The Biden administration has been spending billions on Ukraine's war with Russia. It has gone out of its way, in fact, to keep the flow of arms and ammunition to the Ukrainians running. But it seems that the Biden administration's patience has been running out for some time now. According to NBC News, President Joe Biden lost his temper at Zelensky on a phone call in June. What was the president's grouse? Well, the Ukrainian leader did not seem grateful enough for the efforts made by the Americans. According to 4 people familiar with the call, here's what happened. Biden had just managed to greenlight another $1 billion in military assistance to Ukraine. He planned on sharing this news with President Zelensky, expecting some gratitude, but when he did reveal the good news, Zelensky quickly moved on and started listing all the additional help he needed and was not getting. Zelensky was clearly not satisfied with the USA's efforts and wanted more. But the 79-year-old US president was not having it. Joe Biden lost his temper right away and gave a dressing down to Zelensky. He said that the American people were being generous. The US administration and the US military were hard at work to help Ukraine. And raising his voice, Biden asked Zelensky to show a little more gratitude. This was a clash not expected of the two allies that have been fighting together against Russia. American boots may not be on the ground in Ukraine fighting at the front lines with the Russians, but the American military, the US Treasury, and therefore the American people sure are making a huge sacrifice by diverting billions to Ukraine at a time when USA's own financial health is in crisis. Add to that the political capital that President Biden and his supporters in Congress are expending on Zelensky's demands. That political capital is not permanent, and in fact, it is already wearing off as Biden faces pressure from both Republicans and Democrats to cease the funding and military assistance to Ukraine, owing to the sheer costs borne by the public and, of course, the midterm polls this November that may hurt the Democrats' prospects terribly before 2024. The United States' aid to Ukraine already amounts to more than $17 billion, and the flows keep coming. The Pentagon is feeling the pinch not just financially but also in terms of weapons availability. The US has supplied crucial weaponry to Ukraine faster than it can produce them. Ukraine, on the other hand, is spending this ammo a bit too fast for comfort. So, the USA's stockpiles are running out, and there is no way that it can sustain Ukraine's demands in the long run without tapping into its own reserves meant for its own defense. That is a no deal for the Pentagon so far. A level of mistrust has also ailed the relationship between Biden and Zelensky, and by extension the US and Ukraine. Just recently, the US decided that it will track its weapons aid to Ukraine. That's a peculiar plan, as firstly, it is difficult to track where the weapons land, and secondly, all this while, the weapons were free-flowing. However, it appears that something may have raised the USA's concerns about matters in Ukraine. Matters of black marketing, and the falling of top-tier American weapons in the wrong hands. The fog of war can be disorienting, and that can be taken advantage of. Lack of accountability in Ukraine may be proving to be too expensive for the Americans after